Welcome to the fascinating world of crabs, nature's armored crawlers. From the sun-drenched tropics to the crushing pressures of the deep sea, these resilient creatures have conquered nearly every aquatic and terrestrial environment on Earth. They are a testament to evolutionary success, an ancient lineage that has scuttled across our planet for over 200 million years, adapting and diversifying into a breathtaking array of forms. So what exactly defines a crab? Scientifically, these remarkable creatures are decapod crustaceans belonging to the infraorder Brachyura. The term decapod literally means 10-footed, a defining characteristic we will explore shortly. The name Brachyura itself offers a crucial clue, derived from the Greek words for short tail. Unlike their relatives like lobsters or shrimp, true crabs have a significantly reduced abdomen or tail, which is kept neatly tucked beneath their broad, flattened body, the cephalothorax. This anatomical quirk is a key distinction that separates them from other crab-like animals, such as the hermit crab or king crab, which belong to a different group called Anomura, or different-tailed. With over 6,800 known species and likely thousands more yet to be discovered, the infraorder Brachyura represents one of the most diverse groups in the animal kingdom. This diversity is staggering, spanning an incredible range of sizes, shapes, and lifestyles. On one end of the spectrum we have the colossal Japanese spider crab, the largest living arthropod, whose leg span can reach an astonishing 12 feet. On the other, the minuscule pea crab, which lives out its entire life safely ensconced within the shells of oysters and clams. Between these extremes lies a kaleidoscope of adaptations, from the powerful swimming crabs that paddle through open water to the terrestrial crabs that have conquered life on land. Their most distinctive feature, the one that gives them their armored appearance, is their hard, chitinous exoskeleton. This formidable shell is not just a suit of armor providing protection from predators, it's a multifunctional masterpiece of biological engineering. It provides structural support for the body, serves as an attachment point for muscles, and prevents dehydration in terrestrial species. But this strength comes at a cost. The exoskeleton cannot grow. To increase in size, a crab must undergo a dangerous and complex process called ecdysis, or molting. The crab absorbs calcium from its old shell, secretes a new soft shell underneath, and then backs out of its former skeleton. In this vulnerable, soft-shelled state, it will hide until its new, larger armor hardens. As decapods, crabs possess 5 pairs of legs, each with a specialized purpose. The frontmost pair is almost always modified into powerful pincer-like claws called chellae. These are the crab's primary tools, used for a wide range of tasks. They are vital for defense, for capturing and tearing apart food, for digging burrows, and even for intricate social signaling. In many species, the two chellae are asymmetrical. One might be a larger, more powerful crusher claw for breaking open shells, while the other is a smaller, more dexterous pincer or cutter claw for manipulating food. In the case of the fiddler crab, the male develops one comically oversized claw used almost exclusively for territorial disputes and to attract a mate. The remaining 4 pairs of legs, known as paraeopods, are primarily used for walking. This brings us to their unique sideways gait, one of nature's most recognizable forms of locomotion. This scuttling motion is a direct result of their body plan. Their legs are flattened and their joints articulate in a way that makes sideways movement far more efficient than moving forward. This allows them to move with surprising speed and agility. However, not all crabs are bound to this rule. Some, like many species of spider crabs, have a different leg structure that allows them to walk forwards or backwards with ease. This incredible combination of a protective exoskeleton, versatile limbs, and diverse adaptations has made the crab a true master of survival. When we think of a crab, a single image might come to mind. But the reality is a breathtaking tapestry of diversity, a testament to 200 million years of evolutionary artistry. This variety is perhaps most dramatically expressed in their sheer range of size, a story of giants and dwarves. Consider the minuscule pea crab. Often no larger than a green pea, these tiny crustaceans are masters of finding shelter. They live a life of commensalism, finding safety and sustenance within the shells of live oysters and clams. They are the smallest of their kind, a delicate whisper of the crab form, perfectly adapted to a life hidden from the world. At the other end of the spectrum looms the Japanese spider crab, a true titan of the deep. Dwelling in the cold, dark waters off the coast of Japan, this colossal arthropod holds the record for the largest leg span of any animal on Earth, stretching up to an astonishing 12 feet. These ancient, slow-moving giants can live for a century, scavenging the ocean floor. But size isn't just about span. For sheer mass, we look to the Tasmanian giant crab. Found in the temperate waters of southern Australia, these behemoths can weigh over 30 pounds, making them the heaviest crabs on the planet. Their powerful, oversized claws are strong enough to crush the shells of their prey with ease. This incredible spectrum is all built upon the same fundamental blueprint, the remarkably successful crab body plan. At its core is the carapace, a hardened shield that provides a formidable defense. Beneath it, a segmented body houses the vital organs, all supported by a set of 10 jointed legs, the feature that classifies them as decapods. Their most iconic tools are the chellae, or claws. These are not just simple pincers, they are multi-purpose instruments used for hunting, defense, and communication. The male fiddler crab, with his one comically oversized claw, waves it in an elaborate display to attract a mate. Their sensory world is equally sophisticated, with compound eyes on movable stalks granting a nearly 360-degree field of view. This adaptable body plan has been the passport for crabs to conquer nearly every habitat on Earth. Their story begins in the ocean, but it certainly doesn't end there. In the sun-drenched chaos of tropical coral reefs, crabs have evolved into masters of disguise. The decorator crab meticulously adorns its own shell with sponges and anemones, creating a living camouflage. The boxer crab takes a more active approach, carrying a stinging anemone in each claw, wielding them like venomous pom-poms for defense. From the tropics, they've pushed into the most extreme cold. In the frigid polar seas, species like the snow crab and king crab thrive, their bodies adapted to near-freezing temperatures. And in the crushing blackness of the deep sea, they gather around hydrothermal vents, surviving on chemosynthetic bacteria in an environment devoid of sunlight. They flourish in the turbulent intertidal zone, enduring pounding waves and exposure to air by burrowing into sand or hiding in rock crevices. Even more remarkably, some have left the salt of the ocean behind entirely, making the physiologically demanding leap into freshwater rivers and streams. But the ultimate conquest is the land itself. The enormous coconut crab, the world's largest terrestrial arthropod, can climb trees to forage for fruit and coconuts, breathing air through modified gills. And perhaps most famously, the annual mass migration of the Christmas Island red crabs sees millions swarm from the forest to the coast to breed. From the smallest symbiotic partner to the largest land dweller, the story of the crab is a story of adaptation, resilience, and unparalleled success. They are a living demonstration that, with the right design, life can find a way to thrive anywhere. As omnivores, crabs have remarkably diverse diets. They serve as crucial scavengers, cleaning up organic matter from their environments. Some species graze on algae and plant matter, while others are active predators, hunting smaller marine animals. Their feeding strategies have evolved to exploit virtually every available food source. Crab reproduction involves fascinating external fertilization processes. Females carry thousands of eggs attached to their abdomens until they're ready to hatch. When conditions are right, females release their eggs into the water. The larvae begin life as planktonic organisms, completely unlike their adult forms. They pass through several distinct larval stages before metamorphosis, eventually transforming into miniature versions of their parents. Growth occurs through molting, where crabs shed their rigid exoskeletons. Crabs represent one of the world's most valuable seafood resources. For countless coastal societies, crabs have been a crucial source of protein and economic livelihood. They feature prominently in cuisines around the world. In astrology, the crab represents the zodiac sign Cancer. Crabs appear in folklore and mythology across many cultures, symbolizing everything from tenacity and protection to renewal and adaptation. For millions of years, crabs have scuttled across the ocean floor, their armored bodies a testament to their resilience. But today, these ancient survivors face a barrage of modern threats that are pushing their populations to the brink. Unfortunately, many crab populations face serious threats from overfishing, a direct consequence of their popularity on our plates. The global demand for crab meat has fueled an industry that, when unregulated, can decimate local stocks in just a few seasons. This intense fishing pressure doesn't just mean fewer crabs, it triggers a cascade of ecological consequences. As key players in the marine food web, crabs control populations of smaller animals and serve as a vital food source for larger predators like octopuses, sea otters, and fish. Their removal disrupts this delicate balance, creating an ecosystem that is less stable and less diverse. A particularly insidious threat is ghost fishing, where lost or abandoned traps continue to capture and kill crabs and other marine life for years, becoming unseen, indiscriminate killers on the seafloor. Beyond the pressures of fishing, the very homes of crabs are disappearing. Habitat loss and pollution continue to degrade the environments crabs depend on. Coastal development relentlessly paves over the salt marshes, mangrove forests, and seagrass beds that serve as critical nurseries for juvenile crabs. These sheltered habitats provide food and protection for the most vulnerable stages of a crab's life. Without them, entire generations can be wiped out before they ever have a chance to reproduce. At the same time, a toxic cocktail of pollutants seeps into their world. Runoff from agriculture and industry carries pesticides and heavy metals that accumulate in the sediment where crabs live and feed. This chemical contamination can stunt their growth, impair their ability to reproduce, and weaken their immune systems, making them more susceptible to disease. Plastic pollution presents another hazard, as crabs can become entangled in debris or ingest microplastics, with devastating consequences for their health. Layered on top of these immediate dangers is the pervasive global threat of climate change, which is altering ocean chemistry and temperatures at an alarming rate. One of the most significant impacts is ocean acidification. As the ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, its pH level drops, becoming more acidic. This change in chemistry is a direct threat to crabs and other crustaceans. It makes it much more difficult for them to extract calcium carbonate from the water, the essential building block for their protective exoskeletons. They must expend more energy to build their shells, which often grow back thinner and weaker after molting, leaving them more vulnerable to predators and physical damage. This fundamental attack on their biology threatens their very survival. Simultaneously, rising water temperatures are disrupting their life cycles, forcing some species to migrate towards the poles in search of cooler waters and increasing the spread of shell-rotting diseases. This combination of chemical and thermal stress is threatening the delicate balance of marine ecosystems, pushing crabs and countless other species into an uncertain future. But hope is not lost. Around the world, a dedicated movement of scientists, policymakers, and citizens is rising to meet these challenges head-on. A cornerstone of these conservation efforts is the establishment of Marine Protected Areas, or MPAs. These designated national parks of the sea act as safe havens where fishing and other harmful activities are restricted. Within their boundaries, crab populations can recover, breed, and thrive without pressure. These sanctuaries often produce a spillover effect, as the healthy, growing populations inside the MPA begin to replenish the surrounding unprotected waters, benefiting both the ecosystem and local fisheries. Alongside protection, a revolution in fishing is underway. Conservation efforts include implementing sustainable fishing practices and quotas. This involves setting strict catch limits based on scientific data, enforcing seasonal closures to protect crabs during their breeding periods, and redesigning fishing gear to be more selective. Innovations like escape hatches for undersized crabs and biodegradable panels that prevent lost traps from ghost fishing are making a significant difference, allowing fisheries to operate without destroying the resource they depend on. Underpinning all these strategies is rigorous scientific research. Scientists continue to study crab populations to better understand their needs. By tagging crabs and tracking their movements, analyzing their DNA to understand genetic diversity, and studying their larvae to identify critical nursery habitats, researchers provide the essential data needed for effective conservation. This science informs everything from the size and placement of MPAs to the setting of sustainable fishing quotas. And where habitats have already been lost, restoration projects aim to rebuild damaged habitats. From large-scale community efforts to replant mangrove forests and restore oyster reefs, to local beach cleanups that remove harmful plastic debris, these hands-on projects help heal the coastal environments that crabs call home, one patch at a time. With proper management and a global commitment to conservation, crab populations can recover. The path forward requires a multifaceted approach, protecting their homes, managing how we harvest them, mitigating the impacts of climate change, and restoring what has been lost. By taking these actions, we can ensure these remarkable creatures continue to play their vital role as engineers, janitors, and cornerstones of the food web in marine ecosystems. Their fate is a barometer for the health of our oceans. Protecting them is not just about saving a single animal, but about preserving the integrity and wonder of the entire marine world for generations to come.